Okay, folks, we are up to the penultimate episode of American Horror Story Apocalypse, Fire and Rain. And let me tell you, yeah, those concerns I had from last episode about running out of time and the old Ryan Murphy practice of now trying to shoehorn everything in at the end. Yeah, Fire and Rain didn't do a lot to make me feel like more confident about where this was going. Let me dive in because I had problems on a number of levels. Not that there weren't some good things, but I had some issues. The whole thing with Adina Porter, and siding with Michael Langdon and with Mead, and she got a 13 episode series out of it. Again, too cute, too kitschy. I think Adina Porter's kind of been wasted this season so far, so I wasn't a big fan of that. The killing of the witches and the warlocks, to be honest with you, I thought it lacked heart. It seemed more like, okay, we're getting towards the end, so we need to kind of wipe slate and get everything clean. And again, I think especially with Zoe and Queenie, there were a lot of questions marks. Even with John Henry, it's like you brought him back, you killed them, and I know there can be some, the fleetingness of life, and we can throw symbolism at it. But again, I don't know. It just didn't connect with me. The Madison Cordelia situation about the soul burning. Look, everything going on. I do like the when Madison says to her, like, look, I told you the Antichrist. Couldn't that pretty much have answered everything? So I didn't buy into Cordelia's reaction at that point, even with everything that had gone on. The spell about being able to change past events. So essentially, it's a witch form of TARDIS. Really convenient. Talk about a way to just drop that in. Again, it's not like it's something we didn't expect was going to happen. But I think now that we've seen it, now that we've gotten past the really fun stuff of seeing all these characters return, we're starting to see, I think, a little bit of the question marks coming in. And it seems like, oh, well, we'll just do this to kind of fix everything. Granted, we don't know where this is going. But automatically, this whole spell to change things, I'm not sure I'm buying into it. The Mallory testing with Anastasia Romanoff, okay. The first thing I thought was, I inadvertent plugging for Amazon. But other than that, it just felt like, hey, let's have an excuse to do a little time period piece in the middle of this. The cooperative, the Illuminati, the Satanists, again, it's okay, we get it. I think there was a lot of, hey, we're going to make sure everybody knows that popular people are involved with this, and popular people, it's, and the things that human beings build are worse than what the Antichrist can have, and we got it. I just thought it was very heavy-handed in how it was approached. Again, over the top with the satire. Fern, I thought this Michael Langdon in this episode, and I'm sorry if I'm hesitant because, one, I make sure my notes are correct, and two, it just generally kind of confused and frustrated me. Even Cody Fern's performance, I thought, was just so much a whinier and complaining, and, I was actually siding with Mutt and Jeff, who I'm going to get to on the good side in a second. I was actually siding with them in their opinion of him, and it just, the mom-son dynamic and everything that came into play, it just got, I don't know, it's got to be a bit much from my standpoint. And again, I think this was an instance where the visuals were fantastic if you didn't think too deeply into the storyline or the question marks. That's my only thing. I'm still holding out hope. I think we've been given really great episodes 1 through 7. I think we've been shaky the last 2. We got a good finale hopefully waiting for us next week. And again, some good takeaways from this episode. Frances Conroy's Myrtle, she just tears it up with lines every time. And I think we always talk about Jessica Lange, and we've been talking about Joan Collins and how much Emma Roberts, but let's not forget about Frances Conroy, who kills it on so many levels in so many different shows, and she's just really owning it and holding her own here. Mutt and Jeff, Billy Eichner and Evan Peters, I actually really liked them this episode. I found them to be better characters. I'm not likable or anything like that, but I think they became a little more well-rounded than more of the satirical characters living up to the Mutt and Jeff name that we got last episode. And finally, Sarah Paulson, it wouldn't be an episode if I wasn't praising Sarah Paulson. Sarah Paulson, Venable. Wow, again, much more well-rounded of a character. She, in the quietness and her stares and in a couple words she says, really just sold me on the character, and I thought just really, really did a great job in seeing me and having me see more of the character than what I saw in the beginning of the season. So, shaky episode at best, great visually, otherwise didn't feel like we got a lot, feel like we have a lot of wasted time, and I'm afraid the finale is just going to be Murphy kind of making up for lost time, but I'm holding out hope that American Horror Story Apocalypse ends on a strong note.